Hey, Sweet Squad. Hey, Sweet Squad. T with the Diva here. And I just come before you for a quick second to mention my opinion for a snippet of an interview that I heard. I did get a lot of the information from Quentin Latham's page because we share some of the same sentiments. I am not trying to even attempt to act like I saw this interview in its entirety. I am only speaking on this one excerpt that this man mentioned, and also the fact that he has since this interview retracted his comment and made a public apology. Mr. Michael Rubin on the Breakfast Club. I don't even know when he was featured on there. I believe it was today or either Friday, I guess. Today or Friday, on with Charlemagne and Envy. He said something to the regards of he hates that there's so much, and I'm paraphrasing, that there's so much murdering in our areas and our territories and our neighborhoods. He says that he wished that we could love more on one another and not hate each other so much. I really felt like this was really out of place for him. This was not a comment for him to make. And this was something that he doesn't need to speak on. He's not African American. And I don't think don't have enough issues or enough problems. Caucasians don't have enough issues or enough problems for you to want to have an opinion about whatever they're going through, any disparities that they're experiencing in their areas. I feel like crime is committed in proximity. That is one of the things that Quentin Latham said that I definitely agree with. Crime happens in the group where people are. If you're in a white neighborhood, chances are you're going to kill more white people. There are some statistics, as a matter of fact, I saw some from 2016 that showed white people committing more murders in their area. And like you said, our story didn't start in the middle. It didn't start in the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s, darling. Our story started well before that. It did not stop. Our story did not start where crack began. We started a long before that. Also, I just feel like that there is no other group of people who went through the psychological atrocities that we went through. I feel like in the African American culture, we experience way more physical conundrums, and there is a lot of push and pull between us. And I feel like that is historical. That's not something that is new. That is something that has been going on for a very, very long time. We are also the only culture who, back in the day, sticking together hurt us more than it helped us. We're the only culture where us uniting would get us killed. We couldn't unite. There was no uniting between African Americans. We were a weapon to them, and we're still a weapon to them. So I just don't like when people who are not in our cultural class make these types of comments because they hold a lot of weight, whether they know it or not. I feel like that our atrocities are engineered for us to turn against each other for survival. That was just something that we had to do. We couldn't act like we were totally in unity. We would get shot at for dancing in our lawns, in our front lawns on Sundays after church, when we would want to come together. I'm sure you've seen some of those broadcastings. Yes, and Mr. Rubin does have a point. It is true that African Americans, we hurt and kill each other at an alarming rate. But we kind of need to offer one another some grace. And it just seems like the bad things about us are so much highlighted. We all really need to learn our histories. We need to, because I know it was so many people in the comments like, yeah, he right. Well, no lies told. He told no lies. And it's, hey, y'all, it's just like, it's not about him telling no lies. It's not the message. It's the messenger. We don't speak on what we say about they stuff. We don't say nothing about that. We very seldom make comments about what they're doing as a whole. We could make a lot of comments about what's going on with them. We don't make those types of comments, those type of disparaging comments, especially publicly. We are the only race whose atrocities was specifically engineered for us to work against each other to survive. And that's just a plain old flat out truth. All of this was said by Quentin Latham, and all of this is 100% true. This was the only thing that I wanted to come on here and say. I wanted to let y'all know that this colorist thing, this did not start with us. This has been going on since the beginning of time. Another thing he said is it went on for 400 years, and it just may take over 400 years for it to end, because it is a big deal. And I do not want to hear anybody talk about how it's not, because it is. So yeah, that was my take on that. Let me know what you think about it. Do you agree with Mr. Michael Rubin? Or do you feel like just sweep your own front porch? Let us sweep ours. We ain't kicking it about what's going on in y'all house. We don't need y'all kicking it about what y'all think going on in ours. Just stay across the street. That's it, Swig Squad. T with the Diva.